This was a game that I played at the Dutch Championship. I'm sure you guys can learn a lot from this, so pay attention. So yesterday we went over a game which required a lot of calculation. It required a lot of calculation. Today we're going to be doing something slightly different. This game is more about strategy. So you want to slowly but surely push your opponent away. Anyway, this game was played at the Dutch Championship. I was playing with the black pieces against Erik van den Doel, which translates to Erik from the goal. Anyway, he opens up with the move on d4, and I stay true to my courses, which by the way are on sale, and play the move knight f6. So knight f6, I develop the knight and stop him from going e4, as that square is now covered. And he goes bishop to g5. Now, quick question to everyone. What is this opening called? What is this opening called? Does anyone know? The Trumpovsky. Yep. Trumpovsky. Very good. So let's bring out the bishop early. The Trumpovsky. Yeah, very often white wants to take the knight over here. Give me double pawns. Or just get the bishop out and play kind of like a London system with the bishop on g5. Now, what I recommend against the Trumpovsky, just against the London, is just to go d5, followed by c5, challenging his center. Now here, by far and large, white's main move is to take the knight on f6. And here what I really like is to recapture with the g-pawn. We capture towards the center, but we're gonna fight for great control with like knight c6, and maybe then e5, and then we have a lot of pawns in the middle. Anyway, my opponent played the move c3, solidifying the pawn on d4. Okay, so after the move c3...
Zach 3,196 tip $6.90.
Thanks, Zach, for the donation. Thanks a lot. Truly do appreciate it. All right, now what did we just learn? In what is often an effective antidote against the London? And I'll give you guys a hint. It's also a very effective antidote here, because he's developed that bishop early, which has its pros, but also its cons. What is often a very effective strategy when they bring in the bishop early? We just learned that. Let's see who's paying attention. What do we do when they develop? Exactly, very good. We go queen to b6 and attack this pawn over here, which is undefended. Very good. Okay, so we take the pawn on b2. By the way, this move is also still in my course. And he played queen to c2 to defend it. All right, so what do we think here? How can we continue to play actively? How can we continue to play actively? We'll continue to play for active... Very good. I win knight to e4, putting the knight in the middle and attacking the bishop. All right. Now he goes bishop to f4. Okay, so let's continue. What else is a nice, active, developing move here? Just continue playing for activities. So far, you guys are doing great. We can take, but it's actually nice to keep the pressure here. Bishop to c5 is an illegal move. I don't like c4. c4 doesn't develop anything. Bishop c4 is an illegal move. Knight c6 is fine. Bishop f5, good move. Bishop f5. Excellent move. X-raying the queen on c2. Very good. Alright, now here my opponent played queen to b3. Queen to b3. So again, we're having that stare off between the two queens. Right? Now here, as we just learned, very often when the queens are having a stare off, it's a good idea to go c4, attack the opponent's queen, kind of force him to take, and then we recapture, and we get that space advantage in the endgame. However, there is a bit of a drawback here. If black is able to consolidate and play moves like e6, knight c6, b5, we know we're doing well. But white here has a great way to undermine my space advantage. How can white undermine my space advantage here? And let me give you guys a hint. When your opponent has more space, to undermine his space advantage, you have to look for pawn breaks. So what can white do here? Very good. White goes f3, attacking the horse. And if I move the knight back, not b3, because b3 I can always take, and he cannot recapture as the pawn is pinned. So not b3 or b4, because b4 I take en croissant. f3 is the right move. What do we do after the knight jumps back to f6? Knight d2 is fine. Again, look for pawn breaks. Look for pawn breaks to undermine black's space advantage. Very good. What white does here is white goes e4, hitting the bishop, hitting the pawn, and that is how white is shattering my pawn structure. Like, I can take, but he takes here. All of a sudden, these pawns are doubled and isolated, and white's doing pretty well. Their pieces come to life, and white's better here, as you guys can see. Yeah, g4 is a move as well, but the drawback of g4 is that I draw my bishop back, and now e4 no longer attacks my bishop, so I can play the move e6 to solidify everything. I keep a nice pawn chain. So that is why I did not play c4. And instead, I played e6. Just solidifying the pawn on d5. Now here, it's not an easy position, but my opponent made a mistake. He played knight to a3, which was not a good move. Alright, what do we do here with black? Just continue the development. What do we do here? Just continue the development. Come on, everyone, you guys are doing great so far. Excellent. We just go knight to c6. Perfect. Bringing the knight into the game. Yep, excellent. Alright, and here he played f3, attacking my knight. Now, his idea behind the move knight a3 is often to go knight b5 and knight c7. But knight b5 here is very risky. Knight b5 here is really not a good move. What do we do here with black? I think after this move, black is just borderline winning. How should we deal with the move knight b5? Perfect. We go c4, attack the queen. Quick question for everyone. What happens after knight c7 check? What happens after knight c7 check? What is our move there? Exactly. In case of knight c7 check, we give up the queen. We take the knight. He recaptures. But then we take their queen. So we've won a knight in the process. Very good job, everyone. Alright. So after c4, their queen is under attack. They have to keep defending the knight. So they have to go here. And here, I mean, black is doing very well in multiple ways. Something like, let's say, rook c8, taking this thing out of this. I'm gonna play a6 on the next move. The knight really doesn't have anywhere good to go to. And if it moves, he also hangs b2, which will pretty much drop everything. So that's why he did not jump forward with the knight. Instead, he played f3. So I go knight f6 back. And he played h4. h4, interesting move. With the move h4, what is he trying to do? Let's say I go c4 here. He can take. Or, yeah, in this position right here, white's setting up a trap. What can white do here? Let's say I play this. Yeah, what does white do here? Perfect. White wants to go g4, attack the bishop. And if I move my bishop gets trapped. Very good. Yeah. One quick note, by the way, if he goes g4, I can drop the bishop back. I also have a tactic here, kinda. I also have a tactic. It's not necessarily great for black, but it is still good to see that this move of it is available. What tactical move do we have here? Let's see if anyone can find it. It doesn't win the game, but it's definitely a move. Indeed, we have knight takes g4. Good job, everybody. Because if he takes, we get bishop b4 and we trap the rook in the corner. Excellent. So that is probably why he didn't play g4. He played h4. Okay, so now that we know he wants to go g4 and trap my bishop, how do we all think we should deal with that? Like, it's very clear what he wants to do. How do we deal with that? h6 is a fine move. h6 is fine. Also fine is h5. Just stopping him from gaining more space with g4. Alright, and here he goes knight h3. So the drawback of the move h5 is that I do weaken the square on g5 that he's now headed to with the knight. Alright, so we have been talking a lot about these structures. What do we do here with black? Now it's time for the thematic... The thematic what? What do we do here? Okay, yeah. No, I don't like taking the knight. Yes. No, I don't like taking the knight. He recaptures. This is a great bishop. This is a great bishop on this diagonal, covering a lot of key squares. Indeed, very good. We go c4. Excelente. Hitting the queen. White only has one move. White has to take. Because if the queen moves anywhere else, he's going to hang b2, and his entire position collapses. So he takes and we recapture. And this endgame, as we know, is pretty pleasant for black. We have more space on the queen side. We're attacking the knight. Again, this bishop on f5 is great. We do not want to trade it for the knight on h3. Now he played knight b5, jumping up with the knight. Quick question for everyone. Let's say he goes knight b1. We can win a pawn here with bishop takes b1 and take on a2. But besides that, what is a very typical plan here for black in these types of positions? What is a typical plan here for black in these types of positions? Very good. We go b5 and b4 to put pressure on white's pawn structure on the queen side. Good job, everyone. So he played knight b5. Okay. His threat is pretty clear, right? What do we do about it? His threat should be pretty clear. Hello, Logan. Great to see you. Yep, he wants to go knight c7, forking the queen and the rook. So what do? We go king to d7. Excellent. Stopping that. Now he goes knight g5, attacking this. How do we deal with that threat? What do we do here? All of you guys are doing great so far. Excellent. Now we just go bishop g6 and a pawn and defend the pawn. Now here I was quite surprised. I thought here he really had to play the move e4. I thought he really had to play the move e4. And the idea behind the move e4 is that he wants to take. Let me illustrate. Like if I go here, the idea is to take, and if I recapture, what is a question for you guys? What is a nice way here for white to create counterplay? White's got a very nice way here to create real counterplay. Actually, if he finds this move, he's actually better. What does white do here? It undermines the... Well, these pawns are still intact. Not g4. What does he do here? How does white create real threats here? How does white create real threats? King c7, unfortunately, is an illegal move. Knight c7, I mean, I can move my rook here or something to ca, let's say. No, not b3. b3, I always take, and he kind of recaptures. That's going to hang the rook. And so I'm simply getting, he's going to have to give the rook. Now bishop c7. Rook e8 is an illegal move. Rook d8, illegal move. Only one person mentioned it. Only one person mentioned it. Let's see if more people can find it. How does white create real counterplay here? White wants to bring... No, it's white to move, Alidon. White to move. What does white do here to create some annoying threats? No, not queenside castles. Queenside castles, I take here, and I get a crushing attack. g3. Excellent, very good. g3, followed by bishop h3, which is pretty annoying. Good job, Colonel Snatch. Welcome to the channel. Giving a check, and if he gets that move, like let's say I go here, check. It's pretty unpleasant all of a sudden. I don't really have a good square for my king. I don't have a good way to block either. So I think that's what he should have done. Now let's say he would have played e4. I was gonna go rook a5, attacking the knight. Quick question for everyone. Let's say he takes on d5. What do we do here? Black to play and win. Black to play and win. What do we do here? What is the move here for black? You guys are doing great so far. Keep working. Come on, everyone. If you want to get better, now is the time to put in the work. What does white do here? What does black do here? Indeed, here we not king takes d5. That's an illegal move, but we recapture with the knight. Excellent. We recapture with the knight, attack the bishop, attack the knight, and so we're gonna win a minor piece. Excellent. Very good job. A quick notation lesson for everyone. Since the king is specified with the K, the knight is specified with the N, knight. All right. So what white should have done here is, let's say a4, and here I would have played bishop b7 with the idea to go here, hit a4 and threaten this. And if he would have taken, I was planning again to recapture the knight, because again, if I do this, he's got g3 followed by bishop h3. So here I was planning to recapture with the knight, attacking this, because I played a great opening, Nikolai, and you know where you can learn great openings, right? All of this is in a course. All right, so the bishop is under attack. If he would have gone to d2, yeah, let's say white goes to d2. What do we do here? What do we do here with black? I'm gonna grab a water, but I'll be right back. Feel free to type in the chat what black should do here. Keep putting in the work, everyone. Welcome back, everyone. All right. So indeed, the move here is rook h to a8. Very good, attacking this pawn. All right. Quick question for everyone. Besides attacking this pawn, we also have another threat. What is our other threat besides taking the pawn on a4? Yeah, actually, the main threat here is to take the knight, because if he takes, then we win the rook and we win a piece there. All right. So let's say white goes bishop takes c4, only move to defend the knight. Okay, what does black do here? What does black do here? You guys are doing fantastic. Let's keep working. Black to play. Very good. We take the pawn on a4. Very good. We attack the rook, we attack the bishop. White only has one move, which is to take. We recapture. And black is doing pretty well here. We're attacking the bishop. And besides attacking the bishop, what is our other threat here? We have another threat besides taking the bishop. What is it? Threatening a skewer with rook a1. Exactly. Giving a check to the king and picking up the rook. Yeah. So, very tough position here for white. He can maybe go bishop to e1. But then, okay, I give a check. He goes here. And after something like knight e5, followed by knight c4, white's completely dominated. Like, black's got a great position here. Alright, so that was my plan here. After knight takes d5, a move he can consider is to go bishop c1. With the idea that if I go here, he can take. And if I take, he can take. And now rook a1 is not really a threat. So he can maybe move the bishop back. And then, let's say, castles. And things might not be that bad. But, question for everyone. You guys so far are doing great. Besides the move rook h a8, what is another good move here for black? What is another good move for black here? To indirectly defend the pawn on c4. Black's got a very clever way here to defend the pawn on c4 here. Let's see if you guys can find it. We can defend the pawn with tactical means, or by tactical means. I don't like bishop d3, because after takes, his pawn on d3 becomes very weak. Like, he can take, maybe go king here. This pawn is very weak. I don't like bishop d3. Very good, very good. Knight e5 he takes. I mean, f6 he moves the knight back. So indeed a nice move, as has been suggested by actually only one person in the chat, is the move rook to c8. Because in case he takes, what do we do now? What is the point behind rook to c8? Black to play. What is the point? Perfect. Here we have knight takes d4. Unleashing an attack on the bishop on c4. Excellent. We don't win a pawn. I mean, we win a pawn back. But after takes, black is doing great here. We have a great bishop pair. a4 is very weak. He can defend it, because after b3 he's gonna hang this. So black's doing very well here. Good job, everyone. So rook c8 even better. And if he doesn't take and plays a move like here, here a very nice move is something like knight a7. Because let's say after takes, what is going to be our plan here? Let's say he castles. How do we put the pressure here on white? What is going to be our plan? How do we increase the pressure? Very good. What we do here is we go b5. Excellent. Putting pressure on the pawn on a4, which is now weak. Yep. Very good. Black's winning the pawn on a4 and is simply winning here. Black's position is so dominant. The computer is saying like -2, even though for the moment the material is even. Very good. Very good. Okay. So anyway, I think he should have still tried e4, but in the game he played bishop to e2. What do we do now? Now we should have an idea about all of the plans and ideas. Alright, thanks Johnny Punny, thanks for hanging out. Wel trusten, good night. And we'll see you around, Johnny Punny. What do we do here? Indeed, we go rook to a5, attacking the knight. White only has one move to stay in the game. What is White's only move to stay in the game? Indeed. Yeah, White has to play a4 to defend the knight. I mean, moving the knight back just leads to disaster. We take their entire queen side is falling apart. This is weak. I can go here. This is just lost. Even though black is only up a pawn, the computer says -4. That's how bad it is. All right. So besides that, like jumping up also isn't good. I go here, disconnect the bishop. He's gonna lose a knight. So a4 only move. Okay, what do we do now? So far, you guys have been doing great. Let's continue to improve the position. Yes, Subham, I'm back. How do we continue here? Rook h a8, unfortunately, is an illegal move, but it is the move we want to play, so we play bishop b7. Great job. Okay, he goes king d2. What do we do here? I'm doing pretty well, thank you. What do we do here? Black to play. Black to play. What is our move here? Exactly. We continue with our plan. We go rook h a8. Very good. Attacking the pawn on a4. Excellent. Now he went knight c7. The only move. Quick question. Let's say he defends the pawn on a4 with the move bishop d1. What do we do here? Black to play. You guys are doing great so far. What do we play in this position? Good job, everyone. Indeed, here we have rook takes b5. Excellent. And if he takes, we take here, we win a pawn. But more importantly, we're breaking through. Again, black's only up a pawn. But again, the evaluation is probably soon going to jump again to like -4. Because again, white's entire queen side is collapsing. Very good. So bishop d1 is not a move. My opponent, white only had one move to stay in the game. What is white's only move to stay in the game? Because let's also practice our defense. What is white's only move to not lose here? If he loses the pawn, his entire position collapses. White only has one move. Let's see if you guys can find it. Because even if you're in a bad position, you have to be resilient. Indeed. Knight to c7. Attacking... Oh, wait. Knight to c7, which is, you know, a little bit annoying. He's attacking my rook on a8. And okay, if I go up, he goes back. If I go up, he goes here. Like, I can't get any further. Okay, so we see the rook a7 doesn't lead to anything. So what do we do instead? Or, fine. Yeah, instead we go rook to c8. Attacking the knight. We should know that 2 minor pieces for a rook is a great trade for us. Rook takes to a4 sacrifices a whole rook. That's definitely way too much. Unfortunately, that doesn't work. Yeah, because he's now forced to take. He takes on a8, and we're down a rook with like this coming next, and black's lost. This is completely over. So we go rook c8, attacking the knight. He goes knight b5. All right, so far we've done a great job. Let me help you guys out a little bit. We want to go rook a8, put pressure on the pawn. But we see when we go rook a8, He's gonna go knight c7. So what do we do? What do we do? How do we make sure that we can go rook a8, but we don't get... Well, bishop d8, maybe he can jump in. Thank you, my pleasure, Elidon. Knight a7 is possible, but even better, as has been suggested by some people in the chat, is the move knight to e8. Excellent. We take away the c7 square. So now next up we go rook here. So he can go knight here. Very good. And here he goes bishop d1. Okay, so what do we do now? What do we do now? I might upload this to YouTube, Elidon. What do we do here with black? Perfect. Now indeed we go rook ca8. Yeah. Now you guys might notice that the pawn on a4 is protected, but we have another threat here. What is our threat? In case, I don't know, he does this. Black to play. Yep, indeed, we go rook takes b5. Very good, that's our real threat. So in case he takes, we take the rook, we win a pawn. And again, white's entire queenside is collapsing. Very good, very good. Okay, so we know our plan. So my opponent played knight to a3. Knight a3. Okay. What do we do here with black? We would love to break through on the queenside. Is there any way to do so? I mean, a4 is protected. All of a sudden, it doesn't look so easy, right? But here we have a nice move. Let's see if you guys can find it. You guys so far have been playing an amazing game. What do we do here with black to increase the pressure? Very good. We go pawn to b5. Very good move. Yep. And in case he takes, we just recapture, attack this. If he takes, now our rook enters. And b2 is terribly weak, even though the material is even here. Look at this. -3. It's very difficult to see what he's going to do about rook here and take. Like, white's just lost here. So in the game, my opponent was already in a tough position. And he played the move b4. What do we do here? We've got two good moves. Let's see what you guys would do. C takes b3 is a good move. C takes b3. Nothing wrong with that. We just win a pawn. And we get a great position after, let's say, here. Black is technically winning here. We're up a pawn. He's really stuck. But even better is... Boom! Knight takes b4. Look at this. Sacrificing the knight. He takes, we recapture. But now black's getting a dominant position on the queenside. We check the king. And it's very likely that these pawns on the queenside are simply going to decide the game. Alright, he played king to c1. Bishop c3 is a good move here. Or... I played f6, attacking the knight jumped back. Okay, what do we do now? How do we increase the pressure on white? We have two pawns here for the minor pieces, but again, we're just completely crushing on the queenside. Bishop takes a3 is a good move, but I thought, like, after this... I mean, yes, black is doing very well, but maybe he can, like, give the bishop back. And then go here. I mean, black's definitely winning after bishop c2, but... it might not be that bad. Even better is bishop c3. Attacking the rook. Very good. He goes rook here. What do we do now? We are very close. We're very close. How do we continue here? Indeed, we go b4. Excellent. Attacking the knight. Very good. Yep. Alright. After b4, he played a bishop to g3. We can take the knight, but we have even better. We have an even better move than taking the knight. What is the best move here for black? Let's see if you guys can find it. The best move for black is indeed b3. Very good. Attacking the rook. Black's just completely crushing here. The rook's under attack. I mean, yeah, I don't know what he even does. Like, if he moves the rook away, I can take here, attack the knight. White's simply getting checkmated here. Like, if he goes here, rook a1, the computer is already saying mate in the next 3 moves. That's how bad this is. Like, the knight's under attack. This is completely over. And that is why after b3, he just resigned. There's nothing White can do here. He's just completely lost. So, yeah, I was very happy with this game. And like I said, all of the concepts that I just showed you guys in that game against London also apply to this game right here. So I hope this game was very useful to you guys. Again, often when your opponent develops the bishop early, you want to go for a quick queen to b6, attack this pawn. You also see this in the London. And then eventually when that queen comes to b4, you often want to be looking for that c4 push to get this endgame. Because this endgame often is great for black. Okay? You get this half open a file, and if you can get b5 before, black's just crushing. Right? So I hope that was useful to you guys. Hope that was useful. This was my favorite game from the Dutch Championship. You guys learned something.